Say hello to my new Aston Martin DB7, or the cloaking device engaged. Q. Up. There we go. Bond. Tyler Bond. Now, currently the cheapest new Aston Martin costs just shy of $150,000. And it's certainly amazing enough to fetch that. If you're depressed that the stylish new Vantage is well out of your financial reach, there's no reason to be upset because there's an affordable used Aston Martin for the average person. This car right here, it's called the DB7, and I'm a below average person, and even I was able to afford the cheapest DB7 with a manual transmission available for sale in the USA. But considering this car's background, history, parts, where it came from, can you even really call a DB7 a real Aston Martin? And for more of my thoughts on my Aston Martin purchase, link below is my article on autotrader.com/oversteer. Now, the DB7 is credited with saving the Aston Martin brand, as the company was barely selling a car per day before its inception. Ford had recently acquired Aston at the time and created the DB7 by stealing the XJS replacement from Jaguar, which Ford also acquired. So Jag was forced to continue with their ancient XJS for several more years, while Aston got its first real mass market car, which in addition to being primarily comprised of Jaguar bits, also had a sprinkling from the parts bin of Ford and Mazda as well. Mazda. So is the DB7 really an Aston Martin? Well, I don't know. Oh, slippery. It's strange to think that a design language that defined Aston Martin for the next 20 years was originally intended for Jaguar, and the DB7 was built in a Jaguar factory. It was actually where the XJ220 was made. They quit making those and started making these, and the engine itself, it's basically from a Jaguar XJR. They did modify this supercharged inline six for a bit more horsepower, and did eventually give the car its own V12, which is actually two V6 Durtech Fords put together, it's rumored. But this car, overall, it just screams old Jag. I like old Jags. Other than the styling, when you look at this 1998 Aston Martin and put it next to a same-year Jaguar, the DB7 seems like a total dinosaur in comparison. My engine covers are missing in my Aston. Without them, all of this shady looking stuff is exposed, including these loosely looking relays that don't seem to be organized at all. And inside the car is even more primitive. Oh, that smells like a car from the 1950s. Like your grandma's closet. It's a good smell though, it's a good smell. Smell you don't get anymore in a car, this rich old leather smell. It could be a 1960s car, and could be 1960s controls in here. This digital clock is about the most advanced part of this car, but it would look dated in the mid-1980s. Same with the climate control. But keep in mind, this is a 1998. Now, to start my Jaguar engine, I have to use my Jaguar key. And even more embarrassing are these interior door handles, which are right out of a Mazda Miata. You could go into an early 90s Mazda Miata and have the exact same door handles. They are interchangeable. It's ridiculous. Come on. I think the battery's dead. Oh boy. Okay. British. Okay. Batteries in the trunk of this thing. Oh, there we go. Come on, come on. Yes! It's alive! It's alive! So, I know what you're thinking. An upgraded 1970s Jaguar with a bunch of outdated bits, along with some stuff from Ford and Mazda, it sounds like a total disaster, right? Well, you're wrong. This thing is fantastic. Now, I'm a big fan of older cars just because they have a more comfortable, substantial feeling. And then when you take that and modernize it a little bit and inject a little bit of fun, I really, really like it. Oh yeah. I guess you could say this car is kind of like Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. When you describe the song to someone and the mishmash of genres, opera, rock, screaming Galileo, it sounds terrible. But then when you actually experience it, it's amazing. And this is pretty amazing. This 335 horsepower supercharged inline-six, it's so smooth and it's perfectly suited for a manual transmission, even though this one's a little noodly and something maybe a little loose because it's bouncing up and down. Feels kind of weird to hold it, honestly. But this car is definitely a Grand Tour first and a sports car second. Now, a lot of other Grand Touring coupes, especially the newer ones, they kind of flip it around. They make it a great handling sports car first and then a Grand Touring car second, and it makes them super, super uncomfortable, miserable to drive on road trips, and that's not the case with this DB7. It is so nice. Driving it actually reminds me of driving an old E-Type Jag, except I'm actually reasonably confident that I'll make it to my destination because it seems like it would be really reliable. Don't laugh, don't laugh. It seems like it. I mean, think about it. This inline-six is really bulletproof. They discontinued it just as they figured it out. And unlike Jaguars in 1998, this car lacks all the complicated electronics that would send those Jaguars and all those cats limping from garage to garage. They have the electronic throttle control. All the wiring and electronics are really what doom those cars, and less the mechanicals. I know they had timing chain issues, but not with the inline-six when my nose is running. Now, obviously, my cheap Aston Martin isn't perfect. It does have issues. The air conditioning doesn't work, which really doesn't matter right now because it's winter time. Obviously, there's something electrical going on draining the battery, or it could be a bad battery, no big deal. But also, the radio doesn't work. So there are a few things that I need to have looked at, but overall, not bad. I don't think it'll be ridiculously expensive to solve. Famous last words, but I don't think it'll be that bad.
I see a little silhouette of a man, Scaramouche. Do you do the Fandango? Thunderbolts of lightning, very, very frightening me.
Oh, I'm like legit stuck. There we go. Oh dear, this was a bad idea. Oh no, come on, out. Crap. Need some help. And I have no help. Count on the kindness of strangers, see if they'll stop and help me push out an Aston Martin. Great. Help. I need help. Hello? Hey, can you help me? Hello? Can you help me push? Right here? Okay, maybe not. There's somebody. Maybe he'll help. Hello? Can you help me? Nobody wants to help. Oh boy. Can I get a push? Thank you. Hang on. What is it?
Floor mat.
Oh, I got floor mats too. We can try that. Yeah.
At least I can conceal it for tonight.
Right. We'll do that. Okay. All right. Here, if I get it back and then I get that floor mat out of there. Okay. Let's push the floor mat in now. Whoa! Okay, I don't want to hurt you. Appreciate it. I'll call somebody and we'll pull it out. All right, thanks.
Yeah, sorry.
Got you some exercise today.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, winter driving aside, my first impression of my Aston Martin is pretty good. It does have its issues. They all seem minor, but I haven't taken it up to my car wizard, my mechanic, to get the full lowdown. Could be a lot of scary stuff lurking underneath. Hopefully not, but he has a lot of projects of mine that he's working on right now. But we'll get it up there soon, check it out, and I'll give you an update on my cheap Aston Martin. Wish me luck, and thank you for watching. Hailing an Uber.